A Las Vegas child, Mason Dominguez, was found dead last week after his sister handed a note to her teacher pleading for help. The note was written by the victim's mother, who said that her boyfriend had been imprisoning her in her home and that she had not seen her son since December. Las Vegas authorities have arrested 35-year-old Brandon Toseland and charged him with 2 counts of first-degree kidnapping and an open murder charge. Hey, everybody, and welcome to True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. This is Katie Weaver, and I'm here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Christy Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey, everybody. Happy
Ha-
Monday.
Yeah, it's happy Monday. How is it going?
It is good. I'm kind of hoarse, so
Hmm.
I'm going to be on the smokier side today. But other than that, good.
We'll take it, you know. We call that
Yes,
the
we
porn
will.
star voice. Yeah,
Yeah. I've got a little of that today, but that's all right.
yeah. We don't hate the gravel.
Mm.
Well, good. Well, all is well here too. Sun's shining. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous day, so I
Right? We
cannot
keep getting these
complain.
beautiful blue skies and like 20
Yeah,
degrees.
yeah.
Like, I just want to go outside. That's all. Can I just be outside? No, no, I cannot. It's too fucking cold.
Not really. No. You can be in the car though and,
You
take
can.
on those rays, but yeah, it's pretty cold.
True.
But boy, that sun is promising and feels amazing.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. We had a great weekend, just, you know, doing and doing. Last
Hmm.
night we we get together every Sunday night as a family to have dinner and play cards, and we had a pretty wild scum battle last night. If you guys have never played scum, why haven't you never played scum?
Do yourselves a favor. It's definitely worth
It is one of the
it.
funnest games. Yeah. Anyway, it was pretty rowdy. It was like one of the rowdier scum games we've had in a while.
It was, yeah, yeah. Somebody even got pissed and threw the cards and left. I mean,
Yeah. Scum will
s-
do that to you.
we
It will.
we have some kids in our family that are what you might call rage quitters.
Hmm. Hmm. I think I need to make him a T-shirt that says "Sorry for what I said when we were playing Scum."
Yes, you do. I think that's a great
Hmm.
idea.
Or Skip-Bo. He needs them both.
Or skip bow. Yes, yes. Hmm.
At any rate, it was pretty good stuff. But it's Monday. We have a whole episode ready for you here. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow with another brand new episode. We will be back Wednesday with a brand new episode. We'll be back Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain for case updates. And then again on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Mountain for the psychic hour. And it'll be marching orders this week since it'll be the first show of the month.
Right.
So we have a lot going on this week. And also,
We
there's
do.
2 new Patreons.
Yes, there are. Go check them out.
Yep, if you haven't seen them yet, they're both really interesting cases that you'll love. The ones that we save especially for the patrons. So,
Yeah, we do. We do save some special cases just for Patreon. And so occasionally people ask us for a case and we're like, oh, it's in Patreon. Just go
hmm
join over there and you'll be able to watch it.
sometimes if it's too hardcore for like the YouTube crowd, well, YouTube themselves,
Yes, as in YouTube themselves.
or if it's sometimes it's just a case that yeah, that you guys will get as patrons that are really hardcore true crimers. So.
Hmm.
Anyway, we probably better open it up. So, Christy, I'm going to turn the mic over to you for WTF News.
Heard of the sleepwalking killer?
No.
Well, let me tell you about him. This is Kenneth Parks. I'll show you a picture. This is Kenneth back at the time that this happened. Kenneth, it turns out, has a very rare sleep disorder. So on May 23rd of 1987, he got out of bed in the middle of the night, drove 14 miles to his in-laws' house, and then he took a tire iron from his car and beat his mother-in-law to death and tried to strangle his father-in-law.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He then went to the nearest police station and told them that he thought he'd killed someone.
Oh,
He
good
woke
Lord.
up bloody in his car.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know. Um, we've heard cases like this before
Mm-hmm.
of people using this actual excuse. I wasn't awake, I didn't remember.
Yeah.
But after investigating him, going through his story over and over and over again, which never changed,
Mm-hmm.
and a bunch of psychological and medical tests, they discovered that he did have a very severe episode of parasomnia. He was really,
Wow.
really stressed out about money at the time. And this seemed to be the trigger for this parasomnia event.
Mm-hmm.
He was, although originally investigated
Mm-hmm.
and arrested, he was
Sure.
eventually released
Wow.
and not charged with either crime because it was found to have happened due to a medical condition that he literally did not have any conscious awareness of driving 14 miles. Can you imagine?
That's
Plus,
scary.
yeah, plus going into his in-laws'
Committing
house.
murder.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's
He's actually,
horrifying.
a free man and functioning in society. They said the people that evaluated him said that he was under such severe stress when this happened, it was unlikely to happen again. And of course,
Well, unlikely, but still.
yeah,
Yikes.
I believe he's monitored and takes medication and some stuff like that now, but
I would imagine.
he,
Yeah.
yeah, he was entirely, exonerated of that crime because of parasomnia. Isn't that crazy?
Did he stay married?
I don't think so, but I'm not 100% sure. From what I could tell, no. Um,
I mean, on
but
purpose or not.
you still
How do you
killed your
stay married
mother-in-law,
to that person? Yeah.
right?
Oh, man. That is really scary.
Isn't that scary? Yeah.
And it's
Ooh, and
sad for him. I mean, I don't want to downplay that either. That's horrifying for him
yeah,
that he would
but
commit a crime like that without having
the fact that
control.
right, but I mean, it happened. The person is still dead. The other person
Yeah.
was still injured. Like,
Yeah.
holy cow. Yeah.
Wow, that
So
is
I thought that
something.
was definitely what you would call a WTF crime.
Uh-huh. 100%. We could put that in several categories, really.
Oh, yeah, we
Yeah.
really could. He was not from Florida, but he could have been easily.
Hmm.
That could have been a Florida case.
It really could have. Yeah.
All
Oof.
right. Well, I'm going to send the mic back over to you for our main case.
Absolutely. So many of you have sent us this case here in the last week, so we're covering it.
Yeah.
And this is the murder of Mason Dominguez. So last week, a 7-year-old child got to school and handed her teacher, or had in her backpack and showed her teacher, a handful of Post-it notes. And the Post-it notes were pleas from this child's mother saying that she had been being held hostage or kidnapped, being held captive by her boyfriend, and that she had not seen her toddler son since December and feared that he was deceased.
Mm.
And the teacher, wisely immediately turned it over to authorities and they went straight to their house. And they were just leaving the house. And what they discovered was, of course, the mom and also the boyfriend. The boyfriend's name is Brandon Toseland. And in the car was a handcuff that was attached to the seat that apparently he'd been using when they went places to keep her in the car, keep her subdued.
Mm.
Brandon Toseland is his name. Uh, so, of course, they take them into custody and they search the house. And they discover a couple of very troubling things. They find in the backyard a grave that's been dug.
Mm.
just right there next to the trampoline.
Good God.
Just a grave. But worse, in the garage, in the freezer, they find the remains of little Mason.
Oh my God, isn't he darling?
Darling, 4 years old, absolutely precious. So the story goes, it's a winding tale, and I'm going to tell you because I'm sure that there are families that are keeping an eye on stories such as ours, and so I want to acknowledge both sides of this a little. There is a very hard situation with Mason's dad's family, Mason and his sister's dad's family. Dad's name is Elijah, and he died about a year ago.
Mm,
He had pneumonia. He got better. He came home, immediately flared back up, went into the hospital, and never came out, according to a family friend that I spoke with.
mm,
Uh, Somehow, during that time, the relationship between Elijah's family and Daisha, the mom of this story, had broken down to the point that she would not allow them to attend his funeral, would not allow them to see the kids. Things had gotten really rough.
dear.
In the midst of that, she was dating this guy named Brandon Toseland. Brandon has two children with and was in a long-term relationship with Elijah's sister. So there's a
Wow.
very complicated family situation here. And
Yeah,
there's
no
a lot of
kidding.
hurt and anger on dad's family side. And so they haven't seen the kids this whole last year. Now, what we are learning from Daisha's attorney is that quite some time ago, like many months ago, Brandon took control of Daisha's phone and her social media. And he used her phone to quit her job in her
Oh,
name.
jeez.
He used her phone to cut her family completely off in her name. And of course,
Mm,
cut Eli's family completely off, which had kind of, I think, already happened. But at any rate, there's some really, really hard feelings here. And I want to
yeah,
acknowledge that because I know that, that's a part of the story without a doubt.
for sure.
So, according to Daisha's attorney, many months ago, this crazy controlling stuff happened. 2 months or so after Elijah died, Daisha and the kids moved in with Brandon. And he started, they started living as a family. And she says it wasn't very long after that that he started getting really scary and controlling. And again, took control of, her life. And was had set the house up like a bit of a fortress with cameras and motion detectors and locks, and would
Oh
keep her and the
boy.
kids separated from each other for the most
Hmm.
part. Though it does appear that the 7-year-old was still going to school every day, the story is a little odd. I'm going to give you that. And
Mm,
there might be much more to this story than we know yet. I want to acknowledge that too.
sure.
But this is what her attorney is saying at this point. Um, he says that
Scary
there
stuff.
were most of the time when they were home, the kids were locked in one room and she was locked in another. That he wasn't allowing her access to her children.
Oh
And when they
God.
would go places, and they actually did, according to their neighbors, they were in the car going constantly.
Hmm.
She was handcuffed into the car so that she couldn't flee.
Sure, that'd be another way to control her, to
Hmm.
constantly be going places so that he didn't leave her
Hmm.
alone.
Yeah. So in December, around December 11th, the baby got sick. Mason got sick. And Brandon barricaded him into the master bedroom and wouldn't allow her to see him. And she started demanding to see her son. And he told her, I can't let you see her because that would jeopardize my freedom.
Oh shit.
And she never saw him again.
Ugh.
The hard part is that on social media, there were pictures of their Christmas tree, of their stockings, all four of them, looking like a normal family, looking like everything was the way it was, supposed to be.
Right.
On Valentine's Day, she posted, air quotes,
Mhm.
pictures of two big like bouquets and balloons and stuff that Brandon had supposedly given her, celebrating their love. And like, it's just, if her story holds, and I'm not saying it's not going to, but if her story holds, this is some seriously messed up stuff
Yeah,
that
this
he
is
was.
next level
Mhm.
domestic violence. Wow.
Yeah. She, of course, she has stated that she has been seriously physically and sexually abused for many months now as a captive prisoner in this home. So, sometime here in February, she started trying to work out a plan to get some outside help. So, what she did is she started sneaking post it notes. There was a pad of post it notes in the car. And so she was like getting a hold of like one post it note at a time and holding on to it. And he made a mistake last week and she let her sleep next to her daughter for the first time in many, many months.
Oh, wow.
And so she would coached her daughter quietly in her ear that I'm putting some these notes in your backpack, and when you get to school you need to give them right to your teacher, make sure she sees them right
Yeah.
away, and don't let Brandon see them. And we don't know exactly what she said, but it was along those lines of coaching her daughter what to do.
Mhm.
And managed to get this handful of notes that she'd been writing and holding on to. There was like 8 or 9 of them
Oh,
into
wow.
the backpack. And then, of course, it was successful. The teacher found them, what obviously, did the right thing, thank God, and help was on the way. So, of course, Brandon was taken into custody. He was initially charged with 2 counts of kidnapping, and then they added a charge of open murder, which I'm assuming that means that that could go, any way they need it to, if they want to turn that
Yeah.
whatever, degree of
Gonna
murder
just
they're planning on charging. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And of course, they, as we know, they found Mason and they found the hole in the backyard. We don't know what else they found in the house that hasn't really been released yet, and that's okay. Uh,
Well, I mean, if
but
there's cameras and surveillance and stuff inside the house, if they've got a hold of that stuff, I mean,
Mhm. They didn't
that's
say
gonna tell
that.
them.
That's one thing that's kind of troubling Elijah's family, is that the police never said that. They said they found the hole and they said that they found the body, but they never said they found all of this surveillance and, fortress like
Well, but they
conditions in the
might
house.
not.
Exactly. They might not.
They're investigating a crime. I mean, they hold back.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So immediately now, Brandon's been arraigned and his attorney is asking for uh, an a wellness investigation into his mental health, because of course that's the first place they're going to go. you
Right.
know is that he's just, he's not a bad guy, he's just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you killed a 4-year old and put him in the freezer, bro. No,
Right. No.
not going to fly. You imprison people who, yeah, it's not going to fly. But of course that's always the first place they go.
Right.
So he's actually due back in court today, but he hasn't been back to yet. So, every time they go back to court, we learn a little more. There's
Mhm.
always a few more details that trickle out. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And of course, we will make sure that we keep reporting on this story. But that's what we know so far. So there was a GoFundMe. There's been some big GoFundMe confusion because Elijah's family opened a GoFundMe hoping to purchase the plot next to him and purchase a headstone to bury Mason there. But that isn't
Oh,
necessarily what the mom has got in mind. And so there's 2
yeah.
GoFundMes, or there has been. There's some confusion there about, where that money's going to go or what's going to happen here. Of
Right.
course, Deja has not been charged with any crimes, and she is the mother of this child, and so all decision making will go to her.
Right.
Uh, but anyway, but I am going to throw that out there because there have been some big GoFundMe, 2 GoFundMes with the big bold letters at the top that say this is the only official GoFundMe for Mason Dominguez. Uh, and that's why.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it's a
I
mess.
hate when that kind of stuff happens and it creates ugliness with people
It
because
does.
there's a tragedy here, and the tragedy is the loss of that child. But the other tragedy is the abuse of mom and the abuse of the daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta be real careful here,
Yes.
There's
Well,
the
the poor
they're kidnap
daughter.
victims.
Yeah. Just considering what this little girl has gone through all these months just horrifies me. She's
Right?
probably lucky, really lucky to be alive at this point.
I would imagine so.
Mhm. Yep.
Mm,
Absolutely. So it's a difficult, it's a very it's hard situation because there's so many hearts that are hurting. And, that really sometimes creates, well, this kind of a scenario. So, my hope is that there can be some healing between these families so that they can just focus on Mason at this point and the daughter and taking care of her and her needs because there's something really terrible has happened. And
yeah,
that's where the focus needs to go. It's just
for
really, really
sure.
sad. Yeah. But thank God she was able to get those notes, the Post-it notes, and write
To
on them. And
That's very smart, very
mhm,
smart.
mhm. And thank God her little girl was brave enough to go to school and hand them over to her teacher like she was
Yeah,
instructed to.
right.
And thank God her teacher recognized the gravity of this and got law enforcement immediately involved.
Yes.
Uh, it could have gone the other way,
It
luckily it
could
did
have.
not.
People get afraid to get involved, and,
Or they
the
don't
thing
believe
is.
it, or they whatever, but she
Right.
didn't do that. She did the right thing immediately.
'Cause the thing is, you should always err on the side of caution and report. If you're not sure, report.
Mhm.
The police are not gonna be mad at you
No.
for saying, "Hey, I don't know what this means, but it's kind of unnerving. Will you look into this?"
Mhm.
You don't have to know for sure, but if you question if someone is being hurt or held captive or something, you should always report.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. But she may not have seen the notes or, she might have thought they were a prank or God, who knows? You never know what
Right.
goes on in people's heads. But anyway, so thank goodness it all worked out. And now, of course, Dacia and her daughter are safe. And poor Mason.
Yeah.
What a
That is really, really unfortunate.
It is. It's just a horrible crime. So, of course, this will go on our docket of cases that we're keeping an eye on, and we'll continue to report on how this rolls out in the future and what goes on with Brandon. He'll be in court today, so we'll keep an eye on it and
Yeah.
report on that on Wednesday on case updates. So,
Yeah.
Christy, I'm going to go ahead and turn the mic back over to you for
Yes.
some creepy crime.
Yeah. So I called this creepy crime because I wasn't really sure what to call it, but there's definitely some creepy elements. This is regarding a cold case. It's 21 years old, which is crazy. It happened in 2001, and that makes it 21 years old.
We're
I
getting
don't know
old.
if
We're
that's
really getting
crazy.
old.
Yeah,
Yeah.
getting old, right. So on February 27th, 2001, so it was exactly, a year ago,
Hmm.
right around just shortly before 10 p.m., Rachel Anthony was finishing her shift at Ultimate Liquors. So she was supposed to be closing the store. So she went out and she started her car because it was cold that night and then went back in, to finish like closing the the store.
Yeah.
Well, police found her car idling at 1 o'clock in the morning that
Hmm.
next morning at the back of the store. The back door of the store was open, and Rachel's coat and purse were still inside the store.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
So she just vanished. I mean, really, for the car to be running, and I mean, that's scary.
Mhm.
So scary. So she vanished. Her body was found 6 weeks later on the side of the road, about
Mhm.
15 miles away from where she had disappeared. And her autopsy showed that she had died of strangulation.
Oh boy.
Well, there's some new evidence, and I don't know exactly why this is new evidence 21 years later or why they know this now and they didn't know it before. or if this just didn't get any attention before, but there is some new information in this case. And so I wanted to bring it here, and then I think we'll cover it more in depth later because there's some stuff coming, I think.
Yeah.
So they now know that the last transaction in the store was at 9:57 p.m. So the store was supposed to close at 10. So definitely last customer. And last customer, however they figured that out in their system or whatever. They purchased a bottle of Mickey's malt liquor and Cool cigarettes. And apparently that information had not ever been revealed to the public before. Now, that's interesting because that could lead them to a person of interest, right? This person is the last person that was in the store. Also, if you're a regular at a liquor store who buys the same alcohol and the same cigarettes every time, could be that this might lead them to a suspect.
Sure.
So they're hoping that that information will jog somebody's memory. And there is a $50,000 reward on this case. So she, hopefully we can find where she went, something. I mean, there's literally been nothing in this case for all this time. They have no idea.
So sad.
Killed her. Let me show you a picture.
Yeah, this is her, huh?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
Rachel. And, she was just doing her job, closing up, warming up her car for the night.
Oh, boy.
Obviously a snake enthusiast.
Right? I was thinking that it's a snake she's holding. Wow.
It is, yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I just thought it was interesting. I find it so creepy. Your car's running, all of her stuff is there, and she's just vanished.
Just vanished.
Not cool. And this is in Minnesota. And so police in Minnesota, they're hoping that this will spur somebody. So this happened in Pine River, Minnesota. And on February 27th of 2001, and then she was found near Breezy Point, Minnesota. So, maybe somebody who knows somebody who drank that kind of, Mickey's malt liquor and smoked Cool cigarettes, that might jog somebody's memory. So I wanted to share that. And then we're going to keep an eye on this case because this new information may actually lead to something. They've never had a person of interest. They've never had anything.
Wow.
So this has been as cold can be. How they know this now, though, I have not figured out. Why didn't they know it then? Like, why did their till system? I don't know.
I'm guessing they did know it then. It's just finally rolling out now.
Maybe, it seems like there's a cold case unit that's picked this case up, and this is something that wasn't released to the police. But it seems important because if you're a regular at a liquor store, lots of regulars at liquor stores, they buy the same thing over and over again. I hope this information went to her coworkers at the time.
That was my thought. Surely it's people she works with that might be able to put two and two together.
Right? So,
or the thought of who stopped coming in there after that.
Yeah. What regular customer disappeared? Because somebody knew, well, I don't know. I mean, the back door was open. So, I don't know. The whole thing's scary. She was obviously abducted from the liquor store and then strangled and, left on the side of the road, unfortunately. But I just feel like, Rachel Anthony's case deserves another look. So
yes, it does.
There you go.
It certainly seems solvable.
It does. It really does. So hopefully with today's technology, they're going to find the answer to who killed Rachel Anthony.
For her family's sake, I certainly hope that's the case.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Well, that is Monday, guys. That's our first episode for the week. Again, we'll be back Tuesday and Wednesday with episodes. Then we'll be back Wednesday night and Thursday night for case updates and then the psychic hour. So we have still so much more to come. If you're a patron, heads up, there's 2 new Patreons posted for you.
Yes,
if you're not a patron, head over to
why
Patreon.
Not?
Right. Head over to Patreon, go to True Crime Paranormal and join. That's a way to get a lot of extra content from us.
Yes, it is.
That's what's up. Alrighty, you guys, this has been yet another episode of True Crime Paranormal with the Psychic Sisters. Take care.
Thanks, everybody.